GM, we're going to wait for Coder Dan to get back up here. GM Choina.
Hey, friends. GM.
GM.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Nice. All right. How's it going?
It's going well. Was a little sick this week, so bouncing back from that, but feeling better.
Nice. It's always fun. Been there, done that.
Yeah, never good. How's everything with you?
Good. Been a little decent little week here. Didn't get sick, so just been doing some work and taking care of things.
Nice,
Cool.
productive weeks in December.
Yeah.
Great.
Yo, good morning, guys. Just poured myself a hot coffee, and it's Christmas flavored, apparently. About to find out what Christmas tastes like. Holiday cheer.
Nice. It's already that season. We got a Christmas tree here. My wife bought one off Taobao, like Temu. It's crazy. It's like a full tree, and you just kind of drop it down, and the whole thing just comes out. It's got like snow and all the ornaments and stuff on it. I've never seen.
These new artificial trees are crazy. Like the assembly, instant.
Yeah. It took about. I mean, I wasn't able to help. I was holding the baby, but they were doing it. If they were a little bit taller, it would have been easier because it was a little bit too high for them. But she got it done. almost dropped the whole thing a couple times, but it just kind of you pick it up and you just drop it over the middle, like the thing to hold it up, the stand, I guess, and it just drops down and it's like, oh damn, it's fully done
Sure.
Christmas tree. All you got to do is put the lights on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it just unfurls. Ours is kind
Yeah.
of like that. It was also very quick assembly, but you still had to put each branch, but like
Right.
but it was way faster than when I was a kid. Like the artificial um trees back then, I don't know, I felt like it took forever to build. You had to
Yeah.
individually undo each branch and
Yeah.
not like that anymore. And the tree in my case, the lights were baked into it. So I mean that was nice. The
That's
lights are
nice.
all a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've definitely figured out from a product design point where people want to see improvements with Christmas trees.
Yeah.
So yeah, ours is up as well. I've got like 10 inches of snow in my backyard here. It's been
Wow, really?
a lot.
Nice.
Haven't seen this much snow in probably at least a decade. You're a little further south, Nofu, so you probably I got a nephew in Kentucky and he said he didn't get anything. So Nashville probably even you probably missed that whole storm system. It probably had nothing to do with you.
Yeah, we had rain this week, like pretty aggressive rain, but there was like flurries at one point because my kid in Virginia said he hasn't seen snow and so like in a while. So
Yeah.
he,
Yeah.
as soon as he
We
saw
got
it, he ran
3 inches or
outside.
something, right? In Virginia. My mom was
Yeah,
telling me.
but for him, he's here now. So he like as soon as
Yeah.
he saw the snow, he ran outside. He was like, "Oh my god!" But it's not sticking because it's still pretty warm.
Right.
Yeah, he's rooting for it, but I'm like, if it snows a half inch, the whole city's gonna be crushed.
Yeah. Gotta love the South. So many memories waking up at like 6:15, open turning on the news, be like, come on. It's gonna stick. You
Snow
guys don't have
days.
that in Chicago, probably. You got to get 10 inches for anything to shut
Same in New
down.
York, yeah.
Oh yeah, a bit
It's funny.
more snow. It's all about the drift, guys. If it's drifting, there's no school.
Right.
So. Quick shout out here, everybody. While we're starting, the Gotchiverse should be live. If anybody's already hopped in, it auto flipped at top of the hour to start
yeah.
spilling Alchemica. And so welcome to hop in. Maybe some of you are already in there. A couple of little rule changes I'll shout out here. Instead of requiring 5 people to dance on the dance floor to like do the rain dance and summon the spillover, today only 3. We're trying 3. And the reason we're doing that is that in all previous tests or events like this, it's been during the hour of our hangout. But what we'd like to try doing is finding a way to have some more consistent emissions in the Gotchiverse. And so one way to do that is to have people be able to get together with their buddies, form a squad, any hour of the day, and go get some Alchemica. So with 3, I think that's a nice number to at least test this with. And we're just going to do a 48-hour test. So instead of one big dump over the course of the Hangout and DAO hour, we've taken basically a slightly bigger budget and we're spreading it around to kick off December with a 48-hour emission schedule. So every hour, let's see if I get this right. Every hour, there's like a rewards pool. And if 3 people come in and engage and do the rain dance, then you'll drain that pool. But you can't just hit it perpetually. You'll have to wait till the next hour, and then there'll be another pool. And it's not massive amounts. We're playing with basically stuff that we can scale larger anytime, but it proves whether the model makes sense or not. So I think it's like 50 kek, and we'll have approximately 100 chunks per round. So yeah, we'll just hop in and see how it goes. But this will continue throughout the weekend. So we still have a new leaderboard reset. And instead of checking at the end of this hangout, we'll check at the end of the weekend and we'll see where everybody is. We've been giving away a lot of wearables, a lot of different NFTs. If you guys have anything you think would be like a really cool prize, either from the Aavegotchi ecosystem or maybe from another ecosystem, we've been talking about we're happy to. This is actually a great platform to partner with other teams. So we did 1,000 whip coins from the whip meetup team, but maybe there's another project out there, and you'd like to connect them with Aavegotchi. This would be a really easy way to do it. So they could be contributing NFTs as prizes for the top of the leaderboard, or we could be spawning their tokens in the map. So anyway, that's live. I'm about to hop in with you guys, and yeah.
It was quite nice. It felt loaded snappier this week. I felt like.
That's good. I don't think we've done a ton of improvements on that this week, but we are back to the Prong Meadow snow map. So
Right.
that one just seems to be, for whatever reason, that map is really the sweet spot. It always seems to run smooth there. I see Augie says, give us those tokens so we can fish in the cat city. The tongue out. I can't tell exactly. I mean, you're talking about Cat Town, right? And we did give some ghost away in Cat Town over Halloween. And yeah, you're right. We might be if what you're hinting at there is what I think it is. We'll probably be doing more with Cat Town really soon. Maybe in the Gotchiverse. Yeah, Cat Town's been doing good stuff, and I think we'll see where base app goes and their waiting list. But I think Cat Town's going to do really well when that user base grows, when they open up the gates of the wait list. And I hope we're there with them.
I haven't seen any major base announcements come through recently. Anyone else?
Yeah,
built a
there's
bridge
one.
to Solana.
The Solana one. Yeah, that was.
It's been very controversial to some soy manlets.
Give us the quick.
Who's the kind of against camp?
Totally from base. I mean, from Solana. He's been arguing with Jesse. I was looking at a tweet just now. It's like the problem is that alignment is BS. You talked about how like base. Some people are saying base built a bridge to Solana, but not one back, and that this is like a vampire attack. And if they really wanted to work with Solana, they would have went to the foundation and to other projects and marketing. But it's like Solana's the edgy casino that doesn't care about anybody's feelings. So to see them whining on the timeline is like funny as heck.
You said it's a bridge to Solana, but not back. Do you mean
That's what they're saying.
So you
Like
can bridge your assets from base to Solana, but not back.
Yeah, like apparently it's from what they're saying, it's like an alignment thing that with the way I've read it from various people is that there's the bridge is in place, but this was it's like a one directional bridge because there was no cooperation between the two chains, and they're competitors and have been fighting for over a year now. So they're accusing them of like a one directional bridge, whether it means you can like bridge over there and not bridge back. I don't know if it's like technically like that, but they're saying there's like basically Solana apps aren't coming over to base, but base apps are going over to Solana.
Yeah. It's like it kind of makes sense. It's like if you're an open ecosystem, you should be ready for a casino opening up inside your casino.
It's casinos all the way down.
So yeah, I guess we'll see if the Solana guys, if that becomes a funnel over to base. But as far as base app, I haven't seen a bunch of feels kind of the same. I don't know how much they're. Have you guys seen any like major updates to the app? Jesse, you were talking about the waiting list. Kind of all hoping that blows up and we're able to actually onboard a lot of people through the base app.
We're in December now. I'd be surprised if a big push in the next few weeks.
That's true.
I doubt that would make sense. But soon, I bet Q1 is going to be busy.
Yeah, I think so.
Personal guess.
Well, we're gonna have the guys from Skynet. Should be Justin from Skynet. He's unable to make the DAO call, but he's gonna come into the Hangout. And if anyone's got any questions for him about this recent, we'll talk a little bit about the Binance status update, and pick Justin's brain if anyone has any questions about market making, maybe any misconceptions, any questions, thoughts about Ghost and liquidity and various things like that. This is a great time to put them in the chat here. Got Justin in the hot seat. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thanks for taking this call, and I just want to give you a little context for the audience before we jump in case some are not familiar. And that's we've worked in the past with Skynet via Pixelcraft for actually many years there, doing some basic liquidity provisions, and always had a great experience working with Skynet, based out of Europe, and the up and up, super transparent, and have always just been very frank with us. So when we got this notice from Binance, when we noticed that Ghost was on the watch list, we reached out to Binance, of course, and we've had a very generic response from them. But of the second person we wanted to call was Justin and the Skynet team, and just see if they had any thoughts. And if we, as a community, do decide that we want to improve liquidity on some of these major exchanges that are lacking, we could hear how we would do that with Skynet's assistance. So Justin was very quick and happy to take the call, which is awesome, always responsive. And then here he is on a Saturday, willing to answer some more questions. So Justin, thanks for hopping on. Really glad to have you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a little bit. I'm not very familiar with Discord. Sorry about that. I feel a bit of a boomer here. But if there are any questions, please, if you can read them out for me, Jesse, that would be great. And also happy to just give like a quick intro on Skynet in general.
Yeah, probably a good idea to introduce Skynet again. And then if you don't see the live chat that goes along with our chat, there's like a little talk bubble icon. If you click on that, you can see people chatting in real time. But it's no big deal. No questions have come in.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah. No, all good. So yeah, just quickly about Skynet Trading and myself. So myself, I've been with Skynet Trading for about 3 years now, leading most of the business side here. Skynet Trading, we've been around since 2019, so quite a while. We do market making on centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges, all on behalf of token issuers. So we don't really focus a lot on the prop trading side, but really just trading as a service to token projects. That's really our main focus. So we're also really, let's say, more of a passive market maker that really just does what we tell we will do. And as you mentioned, we focus a lot mostly on just being transparent and doing what we focus on, which is providing liquidity on the market. So yeah, with projects, we often support on token launches and such, where market maker is very necessary, because obviously this is the time where volatility is very high. Well, with such a matured projects as Aavegotchi, and I would say in general, a market maker is not essential, but having that there as a support and a dependable layer of liquidity can be extremely helpful. We operate here in a very simple model. We don't like to work with, let's say, loan-based propositions, which focus a lot on the market making side on maximizing profits, let's say, and taking upside in the token, which can be somewhat dicey. So we predominantly work on a retainer model where the project essentially is in full control over what happens, and we can also be 100% transparent on what it is that we're actually doing. But the main objectives for us are always providing a dependable layer of liquidity in the markets, making sure the markets are efficient, so prices are aligned across exchanges and decentralized exchanges. And yeah, that's something that we've done for more than 6 years, and on each level, from top 10 projects still to very small projects, and that's what we're in general quite good at. So yeah, that's a quick rundown for me.
I think that's a really good rundown, and gave me time to think of some of the questions that came up. We have a DAO channel where they've been kind of discussing and fleshing out some of the ideas.
I've got a few here written down.
Yeah,
just
go ahead,
to
Dan.
kick. I saw Immaterial was just asking. I mean, I guess you talked briefly about the retainer model. Maybe because last time we kind of pitched a partnership a year or two ago with the DAO with Skynet, and the loan option was not really favorable. I don't think anyone really wanted to do that. So great to hear that you guys have a new retainer-based model. Maybe you could just talk a little bit about any specifics, any ranges of like cost for the retainer, and then you've talked to us previously about like maybe there's actually a chance that the project or the client can recoup some of the cost of the retainer through trading, and maybe you could give a little context on that. Like, do you have any clients that, you don't have to name anyone, but are there clients that actually are like recouping the retainer? Kind of what's the chances of that happening?
Yeah, for sure. So the retainer costs, I need to be a bit wary here because usually we don't share like specific price ranges publicly. But it's very manageable. And for Aavegotchi specifically, it will be well below 10K a month. Let's at least put it there, and that's covering every necessary, let's say, tier one exchange, and also includes all arbitrage with decentralized exchanges and perpetual exchanges. Now, I think Aavegotchi falls in exactly the range of volume and market cap, which we are really good at, which is sort of like a mid cap, where markets aren't super efficient because mid caps can have very high volatility. So for institutional trading parties, this is too risky to trade. But there is a sizable amount of organic liquidity as well. What that means is that we are not the sole and only party that provides liquidity in the market, thus the risk is not massive. And also we can, well, there's different arbitrage opportunities with spread. And so I think recouping those costs in this case is extremely reasonable. I think that should be quite easy to manage without, well, staying more on a passive scheme of market making, or a passive mode of market making, just providing liquidity on the markets. And we can still also hedge our position and negate most of the directional exposure, as there are some perpetual exchange markets that we can use, as well as liquid dexes that we can use as well. So yeah, I think at the very least it should be it should break even. And in addition, and that should always be the priority for the project in our experience as well, is that the main benefit is that you have dependable liquidity for once things do become very volatile, because this is when market or external liquidity almost always falls away. And also this extra layer of dependable liquidity, I think from current metrics, we can expect at least a 50% increase on liquidity, depending on the inventory that we have to trade with. And with that, we usually see the more liquidity in the markets, the more volume it reaches. The more volume it reaches is also the more potential that we see a stronger performance as well on the token. So yeah, on the long term, I think it's there's some good benefits there for Aavegotchi.
Great. You talked about inventory. Maybe just what's like the minimum or the minimum, and also just like the recommended amount of inventory that the client, in this case the DAO, should provide on the retainer model.
So I would recommend approximately 150K on both sides per top tier exchange. So let's say if we want to focus on an OKX as well as Binance and put them on top priority, starting with approximately 300K in USDT and 300K in the counter pair, which with Ghost should be sufficient. More is better, less is also possible. So the great thing as well by the retainer model is like we're very flexible. The more we have, the higher we can put KPIs. But yeah, about 300K per side is more than sufficient to cover those exchanges.
Yeah, and you mentioned OKX. Maybe just for the DAO here, you could give a quick overview of what, from your guys' perspective, professional kind of doing this every day, what's the situation for Ghost liquidity wise, volume on some of these centralized exchanges?
Yeah. So in base of tiers, obviously like Binance and Coinbase are at the very top, but as well as Aavegotchi as a Korean exchange, and that is in terms of volume, closely followed by OKX as well as BitHump and Bybit. In terms of volume, those are like the strongest exchanges to have. Yeah, most are covered. Ghost is tradable on. I would definitely say we want to put most of the focus. Well, number one on Binance, that's where most of the trading happens. Number two on Coinbase and OKX. And I think OKX is an exchange for Ghost that has suffered because there's also no dependable layer of liquidity that no one is really going to trade there because it's just not attractive because there's very, very little liquidity. So I'm curious to see that if we, for example, would try to add some liquidity there, if we would also see an increase on organic trading volume, which could very well be.
Yeah. And then a couple other questions that I saw, or just comments maybe that you could react to. Someone was asking, will adding liquidity stabilize our price at all-time low? Like Ghost is, it's definitely had a kind of a down run. A lot of GameFi projects are kind of in the gutter right now, just as it is. But I guess the worry is that kind of like maybe, I don't know, it's like on a decentralized exchange, maybe the more liquidity you add, the harder it is to move the price, I guess. So does that also follow on a centralized exchange, or does it work differently?
Yeah, I mean, it works the same. Like the thing is with a centralized exchange, it's not a base liquidity pool. It doesn't have an automatic market maker. So it's way more dynamic. But second to that, it's also important to realize that these centralized exchanges lead what's happening to the prices. Because all of the trading is mostly, well, first of all, happening on Binance and DEXs and other exchanges follow what happens. Well, in this case, mostly on Binance. I won't say that adding more liquidity will make sure that like Ghost won't go down any further. Obviously, I have no idea what like the exact token flow would look like and investor trader sentiment and things like that. Having said that, what is key is that adding that dependable layer of liquidity means that and we see a lot of these now, these macro events where there is a lot of volatility, a lot of it to the downside as of late as well, is that altcoins obviously follow general markets reaction. And if you don't have a dependable market maker, you're gonna see that you're gonna get hit a lot harder. Because what happens first of all is that all external market makers that trade simply for profit, as well as other traders, they won't trade your token. They will pull out all of their liquidity, meaning that one or two sell orders that come into your token on these centralized exchanges are gonna hit 10 times as hard as they should. And this is called, you can name this a sort of chart damage, whereby your token can become undervalued due to dynamics of the market. And if every single time that your token goes down, and only on that instance there is no liquidity to trade against, you're gonna have a lot more downward pressure. So it does relieve a lot of that. It is also important to realize like needs to be someone there to rectify that. So that means you're gonna we're gonna have to take that position and absorb some of that sell pressure. And obviously we won't take everything. There's a balancing act to it, but at least negating some of that, yeah, can definitely help reduce downward pressure.
Right.
But yeah, it also can cost inventory on our side.
I guess also maybe part of his point was more optimistically. I think he was saying stabilizing the price at the all-time low. Maybe does it work the other way as well, like where you absorb the gains as well, like on the maybe there's what's the opposite of chart damage, like there's the upside, I guess, is what they're also worried about, like are we adding liquidity at the bottom making it harder to bounce back?
Yeah, well, that's a good point, indeed. So in general sense, because we add more liquidity to the market and a dependable layer of liquidity, that does mean that you'll have less volatility, a healthier market, meaning the token price moves a lot less. That goes for the upside as well as the downside. However, in our experience, if we do add a lot of liquidity, what is a quite direct consequent of that is usually it's because it's a lot easier to trade. Institutional trader and other smarter traders that trade in higher sizes will notice that there is more liquidity to trade against. So it also opens up more market, opens up your token to more market participants. So that can mean there's more volume, and that can add the necessary volatility both sides that is necessary. That's in our experience. One more thing is also we're super flexible, right? Like we also work partially into in your service. So whatever trading strategies we run are also highly optimizable.
Sure. I think that's an important point. Just the fact that I think there's maybe a misconception in the community that liquidity just sits there and maybe absorbs a little volatility, but having liquidity is also your reputation in a way. And if a trader's coming in looking at the exchange, they look at the liquidity and the depth of each pair, and they'll just skip over it if they don't see the liquidity necessary for them to consider trading it. So it is like it's kind of like your business card, like how liquid your token is on these exchanges.
Yes, yeah, and in that sense, at least for institutional traders, Binance is the only place to go to. It's the only place with at least 10K on both sides. Doesn't mean it has 10K on both sides at every time. Very probable that this is not the case. But having, just bumping that and making sure this is across top tier exchanges puts a lot more strength and faith into potential investors as well. And just as you say, a lot of traders will not participate if they are unsure that they can potentially liquidate at any point in time into the future without too much slippage as well.
And I see we have Immaterial reacting to some comments from the community saying people weren't too bothered if Binance delisted Ghost, as they believe there's, and there probably is, a lot of shorting of Ghost happening there since Binance launched the perps, I think at the beginning of the year or something. Does that, if we were delisted from Binance, would that prevent people from shorting it on Binance, or are perps and the spot traded differently? Maybe they wouldn't delist perps. Hard to say, really. That's kind of up to Binance. But what would, I guess, if we went from monitoring status to delisted on the spot trading, kind of what would be the damage in your kind of professional opinion? Obviously not financial advice.
No, not financial advice indeed. It's I would definitely do everything you can to avoid this. The look itself is already quite bad, and on the longer term, you're gonna have a long way of your general volume levels dwindling. With more than 90% of all volume currently coming from Binance, I think it is extremely important to try and keep them around even if Binance is also the source of high speculation. And speculation can indeed be good or bad, and can induce leverage trading and short positions and whatever. But yeah, that's also a part of crypto tokens and crypto markets. They can be good and as well as bad for the project. But in general, I would it would be quite a bad look on the delisting of Ghost on Binance.
Just I mean, put into perspective, there's so few tokens out there that are listed like on Binance, OKX, and Coinbase. It's kind of a miracle. I think the community needs to like appreciate that a little bit. It's kind of a miracle that we are listed all those places.
Yeah, I can give some perspective.
For free as well. We didn't pay anything. No listing fees.
Yeah. Anecdotally, like we just recently went to a base conference, and I met a lot of very talented people, very, very focused, very probably should have their projects listed on Binance kind of teams. And every time like Aavegotchi came up, if they weren't familiar, and we kind of talked about it, and like, oh yeah, we're on Coinbase and Binance. I mean, it is a showstopper. People are like, it's 2025. They can't even imagine like how they're going to get listed, and the fact that we are is just, it's not something that we should just be like, oh, we got delisted, no big deal, move on, we'll just do dexes. So from that point of view, I think what you were saying, I've seen it at the shows. Like people they step back and go, oh, lucky you guys, because almost nobody else here is listed. Sorry. So back Justin to what you were saying, and if you want to address that question more.
Yeah, sure. I also think with the secondary exchanges on Coinbase and OKX, they would I would hope some of the volume would move there if delisting would happen. But I'd also potentially be afraid of a cascading event there as well.
Yeah.
Seeing as the metrics on Coinbase and OKX compared to like the top trading pairs are also rough, and Coinbase and OKX are, besides Binance, also these exchanges that do cut a lot of trading pairs on a regular basis. Yeah.
Good shout. The cascading effect is a real risk here. Now I see a material asking, how confident are you that that Skynet or doing a liquidity effort here could help prevent Binance from delisting Ghost? And you can answer that, but I also think like a second question to that is, if there was a delisting and we had a contract with Skynet, wouldn't it just kind of naturally, like, it would be the end of like you'd return the funds or whatever, like the contract would wrap itself up if we're not listed anymore. So what would happen in those scenarios, I guess, if they play out?
Yeah, sure. So we, by the way, we work quite closely with Binance on many angles. These kinds of situations, still, it's for every market maker, it's a black box. It should also be a black box, but especially with Binance, they're quite difficult sometimes to grasp on which way they'll move or not. I would expect they'll also be graceful in terms of efforts to keep the token listed and what's required. I think that's very manageable. So I definitely think we can manage, keeping Ghost listed on Binance, but obviously we can't make any promises here. And this is not something, a topic you can directly discuss in that manner with Binance. A lot of this happens behind closed doors. What will happen if this would if delisting is unpreventable? And by the way, that doesn't say we can talk about they work with warnings and things like that and explanations, so we do get like a lot of information on what's required, of course, but on the end decision, like you can never be sure. If this does happen, I mean, like we're super flexible. If it doesn't make much sense to keep the contract in place, we can do it on a monthly basis and say we'll end the contract. I don't think it will be necessary in all cases if we do get delisted from Binance, because this means we'll just shift more of our focus as well to Coinbase and OKX. As I mentioned, I hope that would also mean organic trading volume picks up here, as people are forced to move away from Binance and trade Ghost on these exchanges. And if that happens, then these are our top priority. And again, it could very well be that whatever strategy and trading strategies that we're running, that they work out in a net positive in terms of inventory. And then it's it's often also partially almost a no-brainer to run this operation. We'll continuously work on improving markets, increasing our inventory, trading inventory. And we don't take a profit share, by the way. We're super strongly against this type of financial short-term incentive. So whatever we build in profits or losses, this always stays with the project. But if we are able to continuously build our inventory, that means also the liquidity on exchanges continuously will improve more and more. The more inventory we have, the more firepower, basically. Also, the more we can do, and it can sort of, well, I wouldn't say exponentially, but it doesn't necessarily scale only linearly. Let's say. So it's not necessary that we quit the agreement. But if it doesn't make sense, I mean, that's fine. Like we can always end the contract, and you can always request a return of funds, and usually you'll receive all of the trading funds within the same day. But that's the latest within 5 working days.
Quick question on the inventory side. Basically, whatever inventory provided by the DAO you would return the same amount, right? There's no, like, say that losses were incurred, I guess, especially on the USDC side. Is there a chance that the inventory returned would be less than what was initially provided?
Absolutely, yes. You cover all of the risks of both profits as well as losses on the trading operation. As I mentioned, the good thing is that there is a lot of places to hedge, so we can run quite a strategy without too much directional exposure. But there's always risks. The great thing is about being able to trade through you compared to other market participants is that otherwise these tokens will, I assume, sit in a treasury, which still means you're taking this directional risk on ghost tokens. So if you like that always puts us as the trader, as the market maker, in generally a more favorable position, depending on how you look at it, of course, when trading on the market.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that that point was clear as well to people.
For sure.
Checking the chat here. Anyone else have any questions? I think we pretty much covered the ones that I had. Yeah, I think that was pretty much all the questions on my side, or that I had seen coming from the chat. Immaterial anymore, or anyone that is more, a lot of the people that might be kind of not supporting this, not really on the call, so they don't have the ability to chime in here. But maybe there's sentiment. Anyone want to take the devil's advocate angle here? Think of some other potential issues with this.
Yeah, otherwise feel free to get back to me with any questions later on. I'll still linger around as well here in the Ghost community on Discord. So if I see something pop up later, I'm always happy to explain a bit more.
You're a community member now, Justin. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, thanks so much.
No, but yeah, thank you so much for the answers and perspective. Immaterial did post one more question, which I don't think Justin could answer direct, but like Dan, you just said, who provides liquidity on the sexes currently? It's pretty much decentralized and anonymous, right? It's unaffiliated third parties.
Yeah, I know a few trading firms that actually do trade the token purely for profit, and I'm not sure how much liquidity they provide. But yeah, there's a lot of institutional market makers that just trade for token for profit. But the dangerous thing with these types of parties is that as soon as we have high volatility, automatically they exit the market, because these are the times that they know they won't be able to make any profits, and thus they take out their orders from the books. It's much easier than with a liquidity pool. You just remove your orders. Although, I mean, same thing can happen for a liquidity pool, of course. So yeah, I know some, but yeah, it's mostly other proprietary trading firms, I think, that would provide the bulk of liquidity on a daily basis.
I'm glad you brought that up, Justin, because when we had that brief call the other day and you said you're willing to come on here, that was the most interesting thing that you shared with me, was this idea of like almost phantom liquidity, where you said, well, it looks really thin on OKX, like almost non-existent, but on Binance, it appears initially like decent, but you suspect a lot of it is actually what you just said there, arbitrage and other players
Yes.
just
Which is, it's still good to have, because it does mean that 99% of the time people can easily trade the tokens, but
right.
that 1% is often very crucial.
Yeah, and I think that's the part. I'm sure some people's ears perked up, even my own, a little bit of like unclarity. And if we don't understand it, we might fear it. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? It's a very natural thing in the market to have people that want to trade your token. That's a good thing. In fact, I wanted to take it a step further and ask you,
of course.
like earlier we were talking about, when you have a good liquidity, it's like your business card, and traders, professional traders come through and they say, this is a pair I can trade on. This is something that appeals to me. That's kind of what we're talking about here, right? Like you want to attract traders to trade your token, I think, ultimately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's also a question of who exactly do you want to attract, right? There's so many different types of people to attract. You have just your retail investors, and then you have a distinguish like between smarter retail investors and maybe less so, and more long-term holders, and and institutional players.
I think I suspect it sometimes gets simplified to, I just want somebody, the only trader we want is somebody with diamond hands, like not a trader,
Right.
just a whole. So sometimes you got to trade, right? So I don't know. That's my last thoughts on it, and I'm glad it came up because I thought that was, an important point. Dan, I don't know if you have any other questions or any other points on that, but I think Justin's been very helpful today.
I guess one area, the KYB that's necessary, is it okay for the DAO Foundation to KYB with Skynet, or how should that work? We do have like DAO
that's
director.
more than fine. Yeah, that's more than fine. We work with multiple DAOs and have done in the past. So the DAO has like a assigned director or manager or anything like that. It shouldn't not be an issue at all.
Perfect.
Great. Okay. Good. Thank you so much for having me. I have to hop off as well. I'll definitely stick around here as a community member now, and if there's any more questions, happy to answer them. Great. Thanks,
awesome.
guys.
Thanks, Justin.
See you. Bye.
Okay, cool.
Glad it's always cool when we get guests to come through. We should probably do that even when we don't have liquidity crisis. It's always a good conversation. Learn something. What do you think, No Future? Just in general, I mean, anything top of mind stand out to you? Oh, he may be AFK.
I think it's just interesting. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was saying this is all above my pay grade. I make content.
It's cool to know, like, understand a little bit what's going on, like, love it or not, Binance is still associated strongly with like crypto, and it kind of the king of exchanges. Like, it's good to know a little bit about how things work.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we'll see where this goes. I think next steps are, there's a thread. Maybe we can drop the link to that. Sound off. Let's do keep the conversation going there. But it's also quite time sensitive. So if
I would expect a proposal. Yeah, we got the specifics from them. I think the only issue was the question maybe was retainer. I mean, we've chatted with them. We kind of know what the ballpark is. So I will what I'll do is make a kind of a template prop, and I'll let them fill in the specifics as much as they can, and we'll have a prop go out, put out a sick prop next week, and just try and see where the sentiment of the community is on this. And if still gets voted down, that's just what the community feels. That's fine. But I think we should at least have a prop go out and see what the sentiment on this issue is.
Actually, I have one question. Because KYB was mentioned, so I'm assuming that's know your business, or am I off on that?
Yeah, KYB. Yeah, it's just like
So they would need
KYC,
to,
but for businesses.
yeah. So they would just need to see our foundation docs and know that get our registration, be in contact with our corpsec, or would it require an additional KYC from the active director or manager of the DAO?
Right.
Yeah,
Probably, I would say probably director, and I mean there
Yeah, if you
probably
don't,
will be Nestor now.
yeah, I've filled out this port. Like what they have is like a portal. You go through kind of like a type form, and you fill this stuff out. If I recall, there's definitely a part for KYB where there's like 3 or even 4 different sections. You're gonna show who's at least one director. Um, it's all about like the who actually owns the business, right? So the director is key. You'll need a director or somebody to sign, but um, I don't think it should be a problem for you guys unless no future. I know there's some stuff going on the DAO side. Maybe that's a segue into the DAO side, but it won't be you, right? It's definitely not you that would be signing anything. So it'd probably be Nestor. And I'm losing it, Dan. There's the director and there's this other job title that you have to fill in. What else could it? I'll go look it up.
I think for the foundation, it's the director would be like the UBO, the ultimate beneficiary owner, is probably the director in this case.
Yeah.
And I think the only sticking point there might be, we are coming up holiday season. I know we might as well get into the DAO call, I guess.
Yeah.
We're talking about DAO stuff. Where are you, Joinia? And then Foreign, hello. There.
Response.
Hello.
That was fast.
Hey, just on that note, it might take. I know that like Letitia is ready to change over the director. There was a budget or like an invoice that Novu sent through that I guess I'm not sure if they are waiting for that. If they are waiting for that to get this done, I think we can uh, prepay that like we did before, and then the DAO can like pay that later, because it
It
is
worked
very
last
time sensitive.
Yeah.
So if that's like the sticking point, we can reach out to Letitia about that. But yeah, I think we should try to, now that the prompt passed, so we should try to get the director swapped out as soon as possible, because if they do a KYB, like if this prop passed, we would want the director to already be changed by the time that KYB process needs to begin.
Do we need to wait until the closing of the prop to add Nestor to the director's channels, including corpsec?
No. I mean, well, no, we don't. I don't think so. It's like what, one or 2 days.
I think it ends today at 2:15 my time, so maybe a few hours.
Okay. Yeah. At a minute, we reach quorum and 5 hours left. So yeah, I'll go ahead and just it'll be happening while I'm offline. So is that a role? It's just the DAO director role, the DAO monkey ledger role, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's called the
Let's go
monkey
ahead.
chat now, so it might be a monkey ledger role.
Yeah, DAO Foundation Ledger Monkey. There you go, sir. Welcome. Congratulations, Nestor. And
Yeah, congratulations, Nestor. 5 hours to go, but 72% in favor. So that one's pretty much a done deal. Looking forward to having a willing director on our foundation and to get everything cleared up for Nofu and Choina. Moving forward, hooray. There you go. So that is our only active prop. And yeah, we've already, as the discussion, we had the market making with Justin from Skynet. So anyone that missed it, you'll have to jump into the recording. But
Hi there.
basic, hello, still here. Hello, Dexter.
Hi. Here I am. Yeah, I'm very happy. And I wanted to ask, yeah, the next thing. I already wrote an email for Lutusha. Shall I make myself known to them or like contact
Yep,
them?
sure.
What? Yes, okay. And ask them directly what they would need
Yeah.
regarding
So if
documents.
you should have been, I think you're being added to the DAO directors chat
Yeah,
now.
he's in now.
Okay, so if you go to the
Okay.
CorpSec channel, that's our direct line with Tim Ravel. So I'll type his name in here at Tim Ravel. This dude, you can tag him. He does take time to respond, but he generally gets back
Uh-huh.
within a few days. So I've already asked him about the process of getting you through. He said it's going to take 1 to 2 weeks once the vote passes, and I
Oh,
guess you supply documents. So if you just reach out to him there, you can get his email.
well, then it should hurry. If you say 1 to 2 weeks, it's
Yeah, he
quite a
said
time.
it's fairly quickly if you get all the documents through.
Okay, I will look through it, and I guess I can, yeah, make this already this weekend. Yeah, or tonight, even. It's no problem. Mhm.
Beautiful.
I will.
Wonderful. Yeah, continue.
No, that's all. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, yeah, so things are moving forward with our foundation, getting ourselves organized. So a couple weeks and we'll have Nectar properly in place on the documents and everything cleaned up there. And then I suppose kind of overlapping with the next discussion was with the treasury distribution. So there have been questions regarding legality and gray areas and things like that. So Nestor posted in that chat recently that once the prop goes live, he will look into legal counsel, get the gray area confirmed, clear up a few other little matters, and the prop will be executed. So at this stage, everything seems on track. There's been no active polls this week for the distribution, but VRDev has posted a draft of the agip. So if anyone hasn't had a look at that, that is in the forum. And I might try, and it's also attached to the agenda, but I will post it again here if I find it. So yeah, we can take a look at the draft of the coming agip and here it comes. So anything that needs more clarification or detail can be, now's your time to have your thoughts heard. I don't know if the RDev is here today and wants to speak on it, but at this point, we're just, it looks like it's feedback for the draft and any potential legal issues as to the wording or anything for the distribution. Nestor will be looking into that, and I'm sure he will keep us up to date. So, other than that, does anyone else have anything they wanted to mention or discuss regarding the treasury distribution?
Not really on our side. Just to update, we're reviewing the prop and also preparing the. We've started preparing the Merkle contract that will be deployed.
Cool. And the spreadsheets and wallet linking submission forms, they're all live as well. So you can get up-to-date info on your potential distribution. And that will only change at this point based on wallets being linked together. But yeah, looking through all the information about the wallet linking, it looks like care has been taken to make sure nothing's double counted, everything will be fair and balanced. And it's all public as well. So if anyone wants to take a look in that spreadsheet, the links are in the wallet linking thread and also attached to the last agenda, and full instructions on how to link your wallets if you need to. So this is generally for people who have wallets compromised or changed wallets for whatever reason, just to make sure all your voting history is combined into the one wallet. So that looks very well explained. So yeah, that's really all I have as far as what's going on there. It's, yeah, kudos on the wallet linking. It was nice to get that put up so quick and kind of user friendly. And at this point, there is nothing you need to do for the distribution unless you need to link a wallet. Other than that, everything is just waiting on everyone agreeing on the draft of the AGIP, and then that will be posted, I imagine, fairly soon. And nothing will be executed on that distribution until Nestor is fully legally in place on the docs as well. So that has been confirmed.
And I wanted to add, if anyone has questions regarding that, if I contact legal counsel, so any questions there could be regarding this, the distribution, I would invite you to write them somewhere, and I make a catalog. And when I contact legal, then I will present them with these questions. So there are some from No Future in the Terra thread, but I think there's still time to add some if there are some.
Definitely, yeah. I'll just get the link for that one. So yeah, if you do have any questions, pop them into this thread. I mean, I'm fairly confident that the just some of the basic questions you will have yourself to just get an understanding of the lay of the land of how the foundation protects the DAO, what is the actual structure of it, connected to our constitution. Once you kind of get that foundation
Right.
set, and then move into the specific distribution questions, I think that will cover a lot of the issues and uncertainties a lot of people have with how things are currently structured. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the results of that, and just to see everything nicely, cleanly explained and laid out, and then we can head off in a good direction from there.
Yes, and especially regarding those AML, anti-money laundering regulations,
Mhm.
if there is some simple technical possibility that could be implemented, or if there are some requirements, I guess maybe they are, but I will check regarding that. Yes.
Wonderful. Just in case we can get away with just a checkbox saying, no, I am not
Something like
from
that. Yes.
XYZ. Perfect. It'd be great to get some clarity. Looking forward to it. So if anyone has any further questions for legal, drop them in that Terra thread, and Nesta will compile them and get them asked. And then after that, yeah, the treasury distribution prop will be executed once all this is cleared up, and then we can move forward as a DAO and start making again. Oh, does anyone have anything they want to add? Because I honestly, with the market making happening in the Hangout portion, or if anyone has any more questions that wasn't there for that they want to pop in now, and then Justin will be able to see them easily too. Please let me know. Not seeing anything. Oh, the only other thing I had was the invoice that did come in from Letitia. So I'm guessing we need a prop for that to get that paid. I don't know. Do we have a budget stretching into 2026 that would cover it? And that's for the May to going forward. Where is it? Yes, the annual renewal fee from May to December 2026.
That would be the budget for the next year. I have to speak to
Mhm.
Maxi Crouton about that. He's not on that call today, right now. Um, but I think it's him who would send
I imagine.
or
Yes.
Mhm. or authorize.
Set up the transaction, yeah. And he'll definitely let us know if the budget, yeah, we still have budget for that, or if we need to get next year's budget approved for this. Because we,
Depending on
yeah,
how much there
mm,
is still in the budget. That's correct. Mhm.
exactly, yeah. So, but
Also, keep
this
in mind,
is, yeah.
sorry,
Hmm.
keep in mind that there will be charges for the switch and KYC of Nestor. They will charge us separately for that since we haven't done it. So I think it's
Mm,
currently, I forgot what it was, like over 7K USD for this current
yeah,
and
7967.
yeah, so it's probably going to go up. I think they for documents they said $200 or so. I can't remember offhand, but it'll it'll be several $100s that will be added to that. Also, I think if maybe no one downloaded the PDF because it's not the safest thing, but if I read the PDF correctly, the due date on that was the day they sent it. So I don't know, if
Oh,
that's the fact, but it said December 3rd. So I don't know what the timeline
I
is that we need to get that paid by.
Mm,
That's
seems
kind of
like a
standard with
very,
invoices. Like it's always billed at the day it's sent. Uh, I guess it just means that they're not going to begin working until it's paid.
mm,
mm, but it's from May, it's from May 2026 onwards. So yeah, I'm sure we won't be cut off in the next couple of weeks or anything. But yeah, I guess you could ask them when you get in touch with them, Nestor, what is the
yeah.
actual due date? Usually it's a month from date, isn't it?
Yes, I will ask them. I saw that too, that it is May. So until May 2026, it's paid.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
my understanding looking at it.
fine,
So
fine too. Mhm.
cool. Well, we'll get that sorted. So yeah, that'll keep our invoice and our foundation on the books and up to date. That will get our directors, listed directors, cleaned up and as it should be. And then we can start looking a little closer to home and see what is next for our DAO. So I'm feeling really bad that this is really short. Does anyone have anything?
Yeah, we kind of bumped it up there a little bit.
You did. You stole my speaker.
Sorry. Well, no news on our side, so
Here we go. Alrighty, so is there anything we need to organize for Christmas time? Just trying to check. What does our Hangout and call fall on any the 27th? Oh yeah, we're not falling on Christmas this year, so guess we'll be going the whole way through the year, or are we Is Pixelcraft taking any?
Yeah, we'll be doing our holidays. Can't promise we'll attend the Hangouts. I'm not sure what dates those will fall on, but good chance.
Looking at the 20th and the 27th
break.
and the 3rd. So not right on Christmas, but nicely in between Christmas and New Year's. But yeah, approaching very soon. So I guess we should keep that in mind. And yeah, I guess that's all I have. So if no one else wants to jump in, or I'm just going to have to call it a day and let us get back to our weekends early today.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, friends. An extra hour of sleep. We don't mind that.
Definitely a luxury.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for coming and everyone who came up on stage, and see you next week.
Great. All right. Yep. See you guys in the chat, and yeah, we'll tell anyone that please, if you're in contact with anyone who might want to comment on the market maker proposal, good time to do that before we put the prop out. So it'll be Monday or Tuesday when it comes out, at least in the forum thread. Let's save
Perfect.
Ghost. Let's do it. Thanks, friends.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.